All right, here we go. Here's our project on planting the garden for the summertime. Get some vegetables going. Today, we're gonna get all the supplies together. Got all my gloves because I can't handle getting my hands dirty. Actually, I have a sore on my hands, so I'm gonna make sure I have rubber gloves before I put regular gloves on. But the standard equipment you need to start your garden up is your gloves, a nice wheelbarrow, some premium dirt for your starter plants. In this case, I have an upsy-downsy, a topsy-turvy, what do you want to call it? It's going to end up holding my vegetable plant. It's going to be upside down, produces all throughout the year. It's actually a pretty good deal. Got the plant that we're going to transplant into the upsy-downsy. And we got our little spade to get all the dirt out. And these little pellets are excellent for starting off herbs and other types of plants, seedlings. They suck all the water up and you can use this. They grow real fast. And as they suck up the water, they look like this. They're getting ready to put the seeds in. Can't wait till they start growing. All right, we're going to sprinkle some herb seeds in these. They'll be ready to sprout probably in less than a week. All right, so we're going to transplant our first plant here. We got some yummy snacking petite bell peppers. I'm going to take it out of the little planter first. Pop it out. Nice and easy. Just to not disturb the roots too much. Here. Okay. We got this. The thing we want to be careful with in these upsy-downsy things is it comes with a little disc. We want to make sure the disc gets around the plant. Insert it through the bottom. Put the disc on it. The trick is to get this nice and flat enough to get it in the upsy-downsy. Put the disc on it. Alrighty, so we got the plant inside the holder. We put the disc in. Take a nice tight shot of that. Show you how we got the plant exterior out and the roots are inside. Nice shot of that. Go. Next part, we're going to add our dirt, the soil into this top upsy-downsy. The two premium soils I picked out is a moisture control, real important here in Florida because of the hot summers. If you forget to water these one day, this moisture control will prevent the roots in the plant from actually turning brown. So it's real important to have a nice, good moisture control soil. And then another good soil that we have here, that's a bunch of peat moss and a lot of good fertilizer and things like that. Just clump it in here and fill this all the way up. Get it ready to make sure you just don't pound it in here to where you break the little delicate roots down. All right, now that we got the upsy-downsy all filled up with dirt, we're going to water it and put it on our hook over here. Put the top on. The final thing we have to do, get this first plant ready for springtime, summertime harvest. Now I'm watering, I just don't use a regular hose. I got a nice little pure rain type of faucet here. It actually infuses air into the water so the plant actually gets oxygenated and it's supposed to help it grow. As you can see, it puts like air into the water here. I'm going to water the oil here. Let that seep down so it gets all the way down to the bottom of the roots. And you'll end up seeing the drips fall below the plant itself, knowing that there's enough water in there. And look at the radishes, how they sprouted just in a few days. Nice addition to our garden here. We'll have a whole bunch of radishes to eat here in no time. It's hard to believe, in less than 7 days you start getting sprouts. Excellent soil for starters. Highly recommend it. Alright, here we go. We're doing a wide shot, showing a whole shebang of our garden in its growing stage. Alright, here's a nice shot with the sun as it sets. All the different plants as they grow. This is a daily and weekly growth. I'm going to get close in and tell you each one type of plant they are. Alright, still in March 23rd, showing the rest of the garden. As the growing stages go, we'll keep you up to date each week on how much it grows. Get in there. It's exciting watching the plants. Week to week, still frame, day to day. And the celebrity just planted today. We'll transplant that and check it out next week, see how much it grows. Eventually the cage will be all filled up with luscious leaves and a lot of the flowering plants. And you always have pollination going on. Very important for the seeding and the produce of all the vegetables. Here's a little ladybug hanging out, which attracts the butterflies and the other bees that we need to pollinate. We've got peppers. mostly peppers. I'll get in close to show you the exact ones we have. Some tomatoes. A great year. The great thing about gardening here in Florida is pretty much year-round you have plants. As you can see, this one's left over from last year, a nice bell pepper plant, still producing. One next to it, as you can see, with the flowers. Pollinated today by the bees. That's all you need year-round, and you got plant growth. Got a nice celebrity tomato. Been here about a week. It's kicking some serious butt, getting nice and tall. Another type, a nice long Thai pepper. Let's see, is it real close? Oh, delectable. Not too hot, nice mild pepper. Got a lot of peppers growing in the yard. Love them. Mostly the yard's made up of peppers and tomatoes. Seem to grow real well here. And we got some tomatoes over here. Got a Juliet tomato. It's starting to be getting real tall. Putting out some produce. And here's the new pride of the garden, the old Heinz Roma tomato. Just started kicking in this week. We'll see it next week. See what the growth is going. One of my favorite tomatoes. All right, this part I want to show you the rest of the garden where we just got done transplanting some new plants. But first I want to show you one from last year. It's growing from last year, so no sense in transplanting that. As you can see, I got a beautiful strawberry plant growing on inside the lanai so the birds don't get to it. Some of the reasons I grow the plants inside, you know, obviously I don't want the birds to eat it and more bugs can't get to them. They still get pollinated by the bees and stuff. We leave the doors open during the day. But some of the reasons I grow this stuff is, you know, it's all organic and some of my favorite foods. I mean, who can't beat strawberries, especially here in Florida? And as you can see, organic spices at your fingertips year-round really makes it for easy cooking, very healthy cooking. Tomato plants, and they pretty much last year-round. There's a lot of them as long as you don't hit a frost. I mean, you'll have produce year-round. You know, like I say, I can't wait. I love gardening. It's an awesome thing. All right, it's time to grab some of the luscious tomatoes that are already started turning ripe on our vine here. I'll grab the first couple right here. These are hardy bush tomatoes. Pulls right out. And we'll get a nice close-up shot so you can see these, how they look. And it's time for the fun harvesting of what we've planted all during the year. Grab some of these husky red cherry tomatoes. Plenty of them today. Get them off this nice vine. Get you a nice close-up of that. All right, another great day for harvesting. Got a couple more. These are cherry tomatoes. Gonna get off the vine today. It's a nice plant left over from last year, but still producing. And what we have here is my favorite peppers. Love peppers. This one's a Tabasco. Just got that in there today. We'll watch how that grows for the next week. Tomato trees are excellent for herbs. As you can see here, some oregano just planted today. Watch how much these grow in the next week. And it's early spring, but as you can see, we got some fresh herbs left over from last year. This rosemary is almost a year old, and you can use this for every cooking day that you need it. So when you buy a fresh pineapple, just make sure you chop off the top, plant it in some dirt, and it'll sprout. And there's one from 2 weeks ago, a couple months, 3-4 months, and it'll show a nice flower. You know, everybody gets a poinsettia plant Christmas time. Down in Florida, they grow year-round. It's almost April, and look at it. Looks like we just got it, and it's December. Part of our great garden here. Another common small tree here in Florida is the papaya. He's got these little nubs that comes out. They'll actually grow real big. Sometimes you have to anchor it with a string, but our plant's doing pretty good. Here's a funny thing. 6 years ago, I bought a lemon and lime tree. They were both real tiny. This one's grown in 6 years. That one's grown in 6 years. Hard to believe. And in my upsy-downsy tomato tree here, I put all the spices in, and somehow a sunflower seed fell in there. Started sprouting, and she's getting ready to open up. So we'll show you that in a couple days, see what it looks like.